Welcome back, guys, to another episode. Tonight, Hawk and I are going to sit down and we're chatting about networking. We're going to talk about how you can make networking fun and exciting and not challenging and scary like most people think networking is all about. So, Hawk, why don't you kick it off?
Yeah, so let's talk about just experiencing networking just recently, say my past week here. I'm in jiu-jitsu. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for about 10 years now, and we had a grading for the next level. So there was 4 brown belts. There's only 5 belts in jiu-jitsu, so it's a big deal when somebody gets promoted because it doesn't happen often. Usually each belt takes about 2-3 years for the most common people, right? So this is for brown, which goes white, blue, purple, brown, black. So close to black, getting there, right? So there was 4 of my buddies who were going for their brown and 1 going for their purple. So many years in the game, right? So most of these people, 10 to 12 years plus, right? I think what's interesting about jiu-jitsu and when we're talking about networking and keeping it fun is that you never know what people do when you join a sport, or especially jiu-jitsu. You just go there for the sport and have fun and all that stuff. But then once you start getting to know people, years and years of training with them and stuff like that, you understand what they do, how they are and everything. And I feel like that's one of my favorite ways to network without networking, right? So if, say, one's a painter, one's a doctor, one's a lawyer, and you start to recognize, okay, this is what they do outside of the sport, and maybe one day you can use their skill and they can use your skill, right? So, I find it really fun that way, but you had a recent event.
Yeah, so
you networked that? Or in a way.
Yeah, so similar to you, I like to network by doing fun things.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people think networking is like you have to go to these crowded events and socialize with people, you have no clue what to do, and most people might think that that's like an awkward situation, so they try to avoid it. Where I like to do things that I enjoy doing, and then like you meet people that like might not even be doing the same things you're doing, but at that moment in time, you guys are all focused on the same type of activity where you can all relate and you can all relate to each other because you know what you're doing. So for me, something I did just on Sunday was a boot camp and beers with their buddy Corey, Fit Club Boot Camps, put on a boot camp and beers at Anderson Ales. And I've been meaning to go to a workout with Corey. And 1, I like to work out. 2, I like beer.
Yeah. There we go.
So it was like the perfect mix for me. So I went to this event not knowing one person, and we all had a common goal. We're all there for a good workout and socialize afterwards. And it made a networking event, like most people wouldn't even think that it'd be a networking event, right?
Yeah.
I looked at it as a good workout and also a way to socialize and meet like-minded people. So for me, going into it as a workout and having a beer afterwards sort of took the pressure off it as a networking event and just made it like, this is what I like to go do anyways. And afterwards, I'm going to socialize with some people I don't know and meet some new people, and that was the networking in that sense. And I had a great chat with Ryan, another trainer at Corey's gym, learned a lot about him, and that was just a good networking thing. Like, he's someone I follow on social and we message each other back, and that gave us a chance to really connect and learn a little bit more about each other one-on-one, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's the main thing, like you with jiu-jitsu, is just finding that thing that you actually enjoy doing and then meeting people through that.
Yeah, I like creating the memory, right? So when you go to talk about, oh, how did you meet this person? Sometimes it's completely opposite of why you are working with them in the first place, but I think it creates the fun of it. Like you met them dancing, or met them at working out, or went to their event, and I met many friends like that, and it creates almost like a more authentic type of relationship. There's no wrong way to network, obviously, but this is just a way that's fun for sure. I had another situation just recently, a couple of weeks ago actually. older gentleman needed help with his back brace. So he went on vacation, didn't put it on for like 2 weeks. He couldn't remember how to put it on. So he knew me from the gym, but we talked to each other, just said hi once in a while, whatever. But he asked me to help him with it, and I always say, yes, I don't mind, right? So we put it on. Now we always have a chat. Every time I see him, we talk about that. Thank you for helping me. But I think it's cool to, you never know where you're gonna meet somebody to network or create a relationship, but I think it's pretty cool that you can create that effect anywhere. I say this all the time. I used to make fun of my dad for talking to everybody everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, this dude talks to everybody everywhere. I'm like, it's kind of annoying, right? But now I'm doing that. I'm doing it everywhere. I talk to everybody. I think it's cool to help people and hear their story, like we've been doing with the podcast. I think it's incredible, and I think that's where we have many more people and cool people to interview, because I listen to their story, you listen to their story also, and I think it's a cool way to network through podcasts and listen to their story, and yeah.
Yeah, like the main goal of networking at the end of the day is to find new relationships and build new relationships, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And whether that's whatever way you want to do it, like in your example, you say you go to jiu-jitsu class, there's lawyers, there's doctors, fitness people like yourself, there's a wide range of people that come in and do that together. And you never know when that doctor might run into someone that needs a personal trainer, and the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, Hawk from jiu-jitsu class, he does that. I'm going to send him Hawk's way. Or the lawyer, or vice versa. You might be out and about and someone might be like, oh, do you know any lawyers? I need a lawyer. Do you know any special doctors? And you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, yeah, I have this guy from class. Let me give you his contact and you can get to him. And at the end of the day, that's what networking is, right? You're just building a spider web of relationships and contacts so that you can engage with them and help them out. They can help you out. And whether it's through doing it through jiu-jitsu or fitness or going to like a networking event that like some people have, I think the main point is just to find your way of doing it, because if you don't find your way of doing it, and like we talk about all the time, eating healthy, working out, if you're looking at it as a chore, you're not going to do it. Definitely. It's going to be that extra barrier that's going to stop you in your tracks from actually going out and doing it.
Yeah, like the people who buy memberships and don't use them, right? Just because you have a membership doesn't mean you're going to use it. But yeah, I like what you say about building on top of relationships as you get to know them, right? Me personally, when I meet people, I don't usually ask them what they do. And I don't know if, I feel like it works better because I don't really care about what they do. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter to me if they're a good person. Like when you strip people down to their core, like we talked about many times, what are they? Are they a good person, nice person? Would they save you if you needed help, right? You know what I mean? So for me, as you build that relationship, and if it comes out, that's great. I think it's more authentic like that. Personally. 100%. Now, some people like to start that conversation with, oh, what do you do? How much do you make? And all that other stuff, but that's not me. I like building that relationship, right? So, yeah.
And I know, like just on that subject, one time I was at a wedding, and you know at weddings you socialize with people, you're just making conversation. I started making conversation with this one guy. He was about my age, so I thought, all right, like whatever, we'll have a beer and we'll have a chat. And the conversation started with like, oh, what do you do? He told me what he does, and like everything was going great. And then he asked me what I did, and I said I was an electrician.
Yeah. And
he like, the look on his face was like, oh, blue collar.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
You don't like, you know what, like just the look on it. He was a business type of person, right?
Yeah.
So just like the reaction that he had, and then just abruptly ended our conversation and went on his way. And like, I know if I probably would have answered him and be like, oh, I'm in finance, oh, I'm a lawyer, oh, I'm this, we probably would have kept having a conversation for like 30 minutes. So I like how you don't ask, even though I know you, that wouldn't stop you from continuing to have a conversation, right? Because you don't care what they do. You just want to get to know the person themselves.
Absolutely.
And the people that do that, the people that put that blocker up and they won't talk to you because of whatever that identity is, they're losing in the long run, because it doesn't matter what you are, as long as you're a genuine good person. Like, I could have been a dude in finance or a lawyer, but I could have been a complete asshole.
Yep.
And you know, and like, we could have had a shitty conversation. And I don't let things like that bother me, you know, because at the end of the day, that's the mind. Yep. That's them, that's not you. You can't let stuff like that bother you. I know tons of people probably that would let them bother them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, going in, and I know some people do go into networking only looking for specific types of people, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
No, like, if you're in the market for something, I guess, and you need a lawyer and you're really specifically trying to do it. But I think the most authentic relationships are the ones that just happen. And at that time, there might be no exchange between the two of you, but down the road, as you build your relationship, you know, eventually something will happen. And that's what you really want, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, associating with somebody that is not a nice person, I'm just using them for, it is depending on the situation, but most of the time I want to surround myself with good people, right? That's why I say, like, I don't really care what you do. And also, like, I find if you're looking at how much they make, like, what are you looking for here, right?
Or if you're looking at, like, I'm only gonna help this person because I expect help back.
Yeah.
Not just because, like, I'm gonna help them because I can help them.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna help them and then I'm gonna ask for this back, and I'm gonna throw it in their face.
Expect it. Yeah.
They owe me something, so now I can get it.
Yeah.
Like, both those ways, that's not the way to win.
Yeah.
And like, that's not sustainable long term.
No, like those people that, like, I always go in, if I give a gift, I don't expect anything back, right? That's why it's a gift, right? Whether they give me a gift back, that's their own thing. I don't really care about that, right?
Someone I follow, Gary Vee, I know you follow him a lot. He talks a lot about giving without any expectation.
Yep. And
when you give with no expectation, it feels so good, you know? Like, the people that give knowing that they're gonna ask for something out of you, or expecting something back, like, I give you a gift, like, you better be giving me a gift. Or let's say, like, a classic example is, like, I invite you to my wedding, I expect something from you, like, not just like, I want your presence at my wedding, I don't want any gifts from you, I just want to be with you. When you give to expect, you're gonna lose in the long run. It might help you in the short-term game, but in the long-term game, it's gonna kill you.
I feel like a good way to test yourself is volunteering your own time. This is also, again, this is my own personal opinion. I posted something on our Instagram today. Would you still do the things that you're doing if nobody was looking? Like, good things? If you know nobody's watching you, or if you know you won't get any praise for it or whatever, like, I feel volunteering is one of the best ways to give. And if you want to tell everybody, that's okay, that's fine, right? But if you do it out of the goodness of your heart, you know it's authentic, right? You're not asking for stuff back, right? Yeah, I enjoy doing things like that personally, but
I like how you said that, doing things when someone's watching you, how you might act a different way compared to if someone's not watching you. Like, I guess a classic example would be, like, you post a lot about putting your cards away, right?
Yeah.
So I know there's some people out there that if you're loading up your car and you see the employee out in the parking lot or something like that, you're probably going to be more prone to put that cart back away than just, like, leaving it to the side or throwing it on the grass island and walking away if they weren't there. Or there's a type of people like you, like me. It doesn't matter where I'm in that parking lot. When I unload it, I'm always putting it back where it belongs. It's just the type of people we are, right?
Yeah. Now I know we're going towards this other direction here, but I just feel like if you say we were taking the shopping cart, I know we're on the cart direction here, but this is just an example of a type of person you want to be if you're stripped down to nothing, right? So if you take the responsibility of taking the cart, you took all the responsibility of it. That means you put it away because you took it, right? Back to where it's supposed to be.
I like that.
I feel like you should really think about it. If you don't put away, if you're one of those people that, if you don't put that card away, what else do you do in your life that you could progress so much better if you have that mindset of, you know what, I need to take a responsibility for my bullshit that, you know, I want to start it, but I don't finish it properly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, and I guess to bring that back full circle to how we started this conversation off with networking, just like we had talked about, if you go into that networking wanting something out of someone and not wanting to go in there and learn about people and offer what you can help them with and not just expect something out of people, that's the best way to win. You want to go in there with an open mind and knowing that I'm going to make some conversations tonight. Hopefully I can help some people. And that's that. Like, not even expecting anything. Just hopefully I can go in there, meet some new people, help them with maybe something that they need help with, and leave them a seed. Like planting like little seeds, right? Like you're planting a garden, planting little seeds with people. Some of them are going to blossom, some of them aren't. That's just part of life.
It is what it is. Another thing that I saw, just coincidentally, Gary Vee again, he posted a thing today about dealing with people in his own company that are dicks but produce. And some other, for himself, and I'm kind of the same way, if you're a dick, I'm going to approach you and be like, listen, you're being a dick. I don't like that. And he ends up, even though they're producing, he tells them, I'm going to end up firing you because you're being a dick. I don't like that. And it's almost like having a person that's negative all the time that's producing. Do you really want that long term?
Right.
Or somebody who's racist and you keep them around because they produce numbers? Or you're associating yourself with these people. And what does it tell you about yourself, right?
Exactly.
But,
and that's where he likes to play the long-term game too, right? Mm-hmm. And he's always thinking long-term. Sure, in short-term, that person's producing for him, but long-term, that's going to be like a little cancer in your company, and you don't want that at all, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry,
no.
Yeah, one other person, now this is not, we're talking about the opposite here with this person I'm about to say. I just watched a documentary on Jay-Z. So he's a billionaire now, and he networked through different things in different ways. Now he's done stuff differently, and I didn't know this about him, but he went to the subject matter expert for each thing that he wanted to go to, but didn't want to build a relationship, just used them for their skill and moved on. But sometimes people get hurt from that, right? Because they think that they're going to do more with him, but he goes in a way where sometimes he feels like this person's not going to go further with what they're doing, so he's just going to keep going. So he doesn't stop for nobody. And the only thing that I would like to take away from that is that when you do things, you're going for your goal, don't let somebody else say, like, I want to go to the gym, I want to lose 10 pounds or whatever. Just because you don't go doesn't mean I don't go. Right? So that's the only thing I kind of take from that, is that you got to keep progressing through your goals. Don't let other people just dictate your goals all the time. Right?
Yeah, when you have that goal in your mind, nothing stops you. Yeah. No excuse, nothing. You go after what you want. And that's how you actually get it. Like him, for example, he had the goal, I'm sure, to become as famous as he is and a billionaire like he is. Yeah. And he didn't let anyone telling him, oh, you're not a good rapper, oh, this or that. He just put the
full tilt.
Yeah, full tilt, put it in drive and kept going, right? Yeah. And I guess like just to recap, guys, I know we sort of got off topic the last few minutes there, but the main thing we're trying to get through to you guys tonight was about networking. If maybe you need a network or you want to get out there and meet more people and widen your relationships, try to find something that you enjoy doing. Like, if you like reading, maybe join a book club. If you like working out, maybe join a group fitness gym so you can work out with a group of people. If you want to try something new, maybe jiu-jitsu or something like that is what you want to try. I'm not sure, but whatever it is, make sure that you're trying something that you actually like and that you actually enjoy doing, because it'll make the networking that much more easier and that much more like personal and enjoyable, I guess, you know?
Yeah. One little tip that I would like to say is, say that you're watching you watch somebody's Instagram for years and years, and you look up to them and all that stuff. You look at their Insta stories and you enjoy their content. Let them know. Like, you never know if they're going to answer back. If they do, if they don't, doesn't matter. Like, you put yourself out there and just have fun with it, right? You've been watching their stuff for a long time. You respect their opinion and all that stuff. Let people know. You know, even if it's I love supporting friends and family. I think that's part of it too. Is part of the authentic networking fun thing that we're doing here is letting people know that we're listening to them too, right?
You know what? That's actually a really good point. And maybe we'll have this little conversation to end this off. Is that networking doesn't always have to be in person.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, with the internet, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you can do tons of networking online. Like, to touch on what you were just talking about, there's lots of people in the London area that I'm friends with on Instagram and that we message back and forth. And lately, I've been wanting to build my relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, whenever we have one of these, like, they comment on something I've put up or I comment on them, and we start that little conversation, I put out there, hey, would you like to grab a coffee sometime? I'd love to meet you in person and jam. I feel like we're the same type of people. And surprisingly, like, all the people that I said it to, we're all gonna have coffee sometime in the next few months. Like, it might not happen tomorrow, but now that thought is out there for us to take that relationship to the next level and actually meet in person and actually have a real life conversation. Because it's one thing to text each other, but it's another thing to actually meet in person and have a real conversation, right? And I think it's important, like, if you are the type of person that's really shy and like going out and doing one-on-one with people isn't your type of thing, try doing stuff on social media. Like, try just commenting on people's posts or sending people DMs, like you said. Like, hey, I've seen your stuff for so long. I'm a big fan of you. I just wanted to reach out and say hi. My name's so-and-so. And you start a conversation that way. It's super easy to just send a message. If like, at the most basic, you're scared to talk to people in person or whatever it is, send them a message. Yeah. Super simple.
I think that's the amazing part about technology now, right? Even letting people know that you enjoy their product. Like, I see a lot lately with you is you're adding their Instagram. So that's creating another network there. They at you, you share back, and all this other stuff. Is letting people know that, I care about your stuff, I love your stuff, and I'm gonna let everybody know.
Yeah.
That's it.
And like Gary Vee talks about, and I'm a firm believer of this, and I know you are too, we all can build big buildings. Mm-hmm. We don't just have to have one big building and everyone else has to suffer. Everyone can grow together and we can grow this huge forest of buildings, you know? And that's what it's all about. I pump up your stuff, you pump up my stuff. I see you share something with someone else and it intrigues me, and then you start liking their stuff, and it builds that spider web of networking just as much as talking to someone in person does as well.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to like when your friends, families, person you just met post, right? I think it's great. You're supporting, you're showing that, you're doing good, right?
Yeah, and sometimes people need to hear that, like sometimes people are putting it all out and you think they have it all together, but sometimes that little message from someone random that they didn't even know was following their stuff is that extra motivation to keep them going too, and to give them that realization that, you know what, like everything I'm doing is actually panning out. Like I'm gonna keep forging forward with everything that I'm doing.
On the same similar note, if you're having a hard time and you need somebody to talk to, Dan or I are always here to listen to anything, like advice. If you just want somebody to talk to, we're down for it anytime. So
yeah, like always feel free. Like we always have our socials at the end of this. Feel free to send us a DM. We'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you. Or if you want to have like a little in-depth conversation of how we can help you to get past whatever barrier it is for you that you need to start networking, shoot either one of us a message. We'd be happy to help, or sit down and have a coffee with you, or whatever it might be. That's what this is all about, and that's why we're doing this, is because we want to help as many people as possible. and we're super nice guys. We're not gonna bite your head off. You send us a message, we're gonna be more than happy to help you out, because one, it tells us that people are actually listening to this and we're not just talking to each other all the time when we record. And two, that's our mission for this podcast, is to help people. And when we get a message like that, that really like inspires us and lets us know that we're doing something right, and also that helping someone is what our goal is.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be everything for tonight, guys. If you have any questions about networking or anything in general, feel free to message either one of us. We're here to help. And until next time, cheers, guys.